Right then, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into this today, shall we? Rumour. Disney is not going to be expanding Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, or at least not yet, anyway. Now, this I can firmly believe for many, many reasons, namely the fact that their theme parks have been costing them huge amounts of money during all of this coronavirus situation, lockdowns happening. It's cost them hundreds of thousands per day. I think it was somewhere in the millions, if I remember right. It's just insane. Like, it is absolutely insane, the cost. So, in terms of them looking at that as a business and going, yeah, we're going to expand, that's highly unlikely. You can look at it two ways, right? You can say, well, it's been costing them money, but they're open back now, so they need to get people ready, ready to come back, so they'll expand in that way. Okay, that's definitely plausible from a business perspective. The other side of it would be, yeah, it's cost them money. Nah, they're not going to be expanding anytime soon. So this article is linked down below. Please do check it out. But it says a brand new rumor claims that Disney has put an expansion for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge on hold. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the Star Wars themed land Disney created at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And it does look awesome. Like walking into the Millennium Falcon. Who wouldn't want to do that? That is cool. Now, the original idea for the land was supposed to be based on George Lucas's original trilogy and would welcome visitors to Tatooine. But according to former Vice President of Epcot Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom, Dan Cockerell, those plans were scrapped. Which we know, this is... I think we've seen the original plans now. So not something which you can really sort of argue with, I guess. But Cockerell explained that Kathleen Kennedy specifically wanted to make the land based on the new Disney Star Wars stories rather than Lucas's classics. He stated, and Kathleen Kennedy, her point of view was, there are way more Disney Star Wars stories ahead of us than behind us. Yes, that's right. Kathleen Kennedy, in her infinite wisdom, chose to piss on all the Star Wars fans' faces and I guess try and just get new fans instead. So yeah, great business model. So we really should think about, do we want to build a Tatooine and build what all the 50-somethings remember Star Wars is, or do we want to build something else which is going to appeal to all the upcoming generations who are going to know the new stories? I think that's pretty bad, to be fair. And he then added, and that day Tatooine was killed at the studios. So yeah, pretty bad business model. Just to irritate all of the original trilogy fans, I guess, but whatever. Given the Disney sequel films have ruined the entire Star Wars brand with divisive identity politics and just overall bad storytelling, including the complete destruction of Luke Skywalker, Galaxy's Edge opened up to less than stellar crowds, and it wasn't very good. The opening wasn't particularly great. So Disney Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Christine McCarthy revealed attendance was lower than expected when the land opened up. Again, we knew that. It was widely reported. She stated, I just want to put more granularity on the Disneyland results for the quarter. As I said, the attendance was down 3%, but the paid attendance was up in the quarter, and that lower attendance was primarily driven by the annual pass holder visitation. And when we look at the per cap spend across Disneyland, all categories, they were up significantly year over year. So there we go. This is just a broad backstory to how it's gone, how it came around. Not particularly great, okay? Now, the new rumor itself about an expansion being put on hold comes from WDW Pro at Pirates and Princesses. The scooper claims signs point to what was internally referred to as Phase 2 being phased out. Now, the individual then goes on to detail that the previously planned gateway for Phase 2 is now being repurposed as a terminal for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser guest arrivals and departures. Now, this Galactic Star Cruiser is described by Disney as a 2-night, all-immersive adventure at the Walt Disney World Resort. WDW Pro cites a photo shared to Twitter by user SW Edge that reveals construction of an area that they claim will be landing area for the shuttle transport between the Galactic Star Cruiser and Galaxy's Edge. Quite a cool idea, to be fair, and this is what it is. As ideas go, I think it's pretty cool. I don't hate that as an idea. As for why Disney is reportedly putting Galaxy's Edge expansion on hold, WWW Pro claims it appears to have been discarded along with the expansion due to convenience and lower capital expenditure. Now, yeah, again, hardly rocket science that this was going to happen. So Disney reported huge declines in revenue and income in its first quarter earnings for fiscal 2021 compared to the first quarter of 2020. That was highly likely, wasn't it? Let's be honest. So the total revenue declined 22% from the first quarter a year ago, and their net income declined 99% to just 29 million in 2021. Hardly a surprise that was going to happen. Why was it going to happen? Well, the whole world was up shit creek, wasn't it? Now this idea, this galactic star cruiser, this sort of repurposing situation, I quite like that. I think that's interesting. I think it could work nicely. But as for them, Galaxy's Edge has been a thorn in their side. It would have cost them monumental money getting this off the ground. Just insane sums of money. And it's not been hugely popular. Like, it has been popular, but it's been widely derided as well. Overpriced, forcing people to buy certain bits and pieces. Well, not forcing them, but essentially making people buy certain bits and pieces. Again, just incredibly overpriced. Cheap, tatty lightsabers that weren't particularly great, that were being sort of fobbed off on people. Now, what does this mean for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge long term? Now, in terms of the installations and things like that, they won't be getting rid of them anytime soon. Especially not something like this, anyway, where it's purpose-built, into the side of rocks and such forth. I'm not overly sure whether this was actually installed, which probably was, in fairness. But something this big is not going to be removed anytime soon. But them not expanding upon it is not a huge surprise. I am more surprised that Disney is investing more and more money into Disney Plus than I am them not going about this. Just as a business decision, they've been losing so much money recently, and Disney Plus isn't a huge earner for them. But I guess they're looking at it as a higher potential earner for the future. And this is where the message for the video really comes in here, isn't it? It's, what are they looking at for the future? Where are they investing their money? And it isn't in Star Wars. So to me, it looks like they don't think Star Wars is going to be profitable anytime soon, which is interesting because they've got an awful lot of Star Wars projects in the works. So it'll be fascinating to see how it goes. The expansion, I would have assumed, would have been something to do with the Mandalorian, potentially, anyway. And I think they missed a trick there not doing that as well. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Loads of people would obviously be highly appreciative of Disney not doing things, because Disney is, again, widely hated, and I get that. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. We've got memberships open as well as Patreon. Check them out. Cheers. Take care.